Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have significant Taurus placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Taurus, as soon as I sat down to do your reading, so much emotion, like I just started crying. And there's a lot of downloads that are coming through for you in addition to that. So just bear with me for this reading. It may be kind of difficult to get through without becoming emotional, just because there's a lot of emotion in your energy right now. So to start off, there was a Taurus reading that I did, I think like over a year ago or more. I'll link it above. That's feeling very relevant for your reading today. So I recommend watching that one because I feel like there is some sort of connection with that reading. It could be the timing element of it, like when I recorded that reading, there should be like a date on it. So that might be like a significant time frame for you. The reason that reading is coming through today is because there was an emphasis on sort of like a little bird was how it was coming through in that reading. And it's coming through again today, this little bird. So it could be something about like, I'm just going to leave it there. I'll let you sort of figure out how that connects for you. Okay. Second of all, there was an energy here about the throat chakra, and I feel like you're healing that within yourself. So, okay, I didn't pull that card out. So something very different is happening in your reading today, Taurus, where instead of me pulling cards, because I've been using this Alchemy deck, which I am going to use for your reading, but there was this thing happening where I was just seeing these cards, which sometimes happens in readings, but today, like, they insisted on being shown to you. This resin card, which I feel is a very Taurus energy. The frog from the Animal Oracle deck. And the Six of Pentacles card from Guardian of the Night Tarot. This is you and this little bird. Okay. So Taurus, there's something here about the throat chakra. I feel like you're healing something about the throat chakra. This energy comes through with something about transparency, especially in the way that you're communicating. I feel like there's something here though about there's like a wound about that chakra for you that is healing, is how it's coming through, because you have the frog as well, which is also a very healing energy. Sorry, I think I had to take these cards out just to help me focus on the message. Okay, the resin card comes in with this energy of like protection and holding. Okay, this is where I have to explain the download that was coming through. So, the metaphor that's coming through for you today, Taurus, is those sort of like wild animal, like stories on the internet that you see where like someone saves a wild animal, tries to heal it, is how it's coming through. And I feel like that's you, Taurus. You try to heal some sort of wild animal. I feel like on some level you did, is how it's feeling to me. That you healed it. You provided healing and comfort and nourishment is how it's coming through. And there may have been this energy within you with this resin card about wanting to protect this little bird. Sorry, 1 second. There's something about like a moment of silence that's necessary. Okay, Taurus. So there's so much energy. Hold on. Okay. I feel like, Taurus, you have let this little bird go, is how it's coming through. I don't know in what way, but you've let it go, is how it's feeling. I'm not going to be able to get through this without crying. I apologize. Okay, because there's something here about boundaries as well. Like, I feel like there was something about, for example, like a bird, right? The boundaries of a bird. I feel like there was something about, maybe there was this energy for you, Taurus, of like trying to protect or hold on to, maybe, or like, it just feels like protect. I'm going to keep it like that. It feels protective. But that for the bird, there was some level of like, it needed to be free. And I feel like that is the reason why you let it go. Even if you didn't want to. I don't know if I should just edit this out or what. Okay. So, Taurus, to summarize this energy, there's a little bird that I feel like was either under your care, or you were trying to protect it or care for it or nurture it or something like that. But I feel like it got to the point where you had to release it in some way, to let it go, to let it be free, because there was something about like boundaries that were feeling quite restrictive, is how it's feeling. For you, perhaps, or for this bird, whoever that is to you. I feel like it's a person, but it doesn't have to be. It could be like a situation or a project or like whatever. There was something about the boundaries that were placed on this situation that were feeling restrictive to one or both parties. And so I feel like for you, Taurus, you made the choice to let something go. Let it go. Let it be free. Remove perhaps the boundary, maybe, of something. And it's coming through with this frog because I feel like there's something very healing about that for this dynamic, is how it's coming through. But also perhaps very emotional. What I feel like is misunderstood here, Taurus, because it does feel like there is a bit of a misunderstanding in terms of, well, because there's a lot of emotion tied to this, and emotions can cloud your judgment, or your I'm just going to leave it like that, can cloud your judgment, that I feel like maybe there's perhaps a miscommunication about what was feeling restrictive, right? It's because I'm feeling kind of like with the 6 of Pentacles for you, Taurus, the 6 of Pentacles, because I feel like for you, you were giving a lot of your resources to this little bird, a lot of your resources to this bird. So it could be a child. It's kind of coming through with that energy of little, like smaller than you, younger than you, something like that. Or there's like a protective instinct within you towards this energy. So it feels kind of like you were giving a lot to that energy. And I feel like something about that was feeling restrictive to the other, whoever that is for you. Not because what you were giving was wrong or too much, or, you know, that it wasn't appreciated or anything like that. But it's kind of feeling like, from the little bird's perspective, there was a feeling of feeling restricted because they felt like they couldn't give anything back to you, is how it's feeling. That they wanted to give something back to you, but they felt like they couldn't within the bounds of the restriction that were placed upon the dynamic or the relationship or whatever it is. So the reason why this Six of Pentacles is coming out, because I feel like there is something that you're not seeing clearly about this situation, Taurus, in terms of what you're giving and what this bird wants to give back to you, is how it's coming through. Because I feel like the bird wants to give back to you, but you may have released it, is how it's coming through. I feel like there is this energy of a miscommunication happening, especially with the throat chakra. I'm also feeling for you, Taurus, that there may be miscommunication, like in terms of like, I don't know, maybe there's something about miscommunication of boundaries, maybe. But anyways, I feel, so back to that sort of like wild animal story. I feel like there's something about like you let the bird go, expecting to like, you know, the bird's free. The bird's free, the bird's gone. I'm never going to see the bird again. But that it's actually, like, it's kind of coming through as being like the bird is like, there's something about like it's gonna surprise you, Taurus. Like, it's something about like maybe the bird wanted to be free because it had like a nest, right? Like it had babies to take care of or something. Like, it's kind of coming through like that. It had something else outside of this dynamic that it was trying to nurture and take care of. And so as much as it wanted to stay, it had to take care of its responsibilities. Is how it's coming through. And so it's almost like the bird is returning, is how it's feeling, with its nest, right? With something else that is, I feel like, is going to somehow be given back to you in some way, right? It's kind of coming through like that. So it's kind of like, I feel like maybe there's a misunderstanding here, Taurus, about like you've let something go because you think that it wants to be free, but maybe it just wants to make a nest in your backyard. Like, it's coming through like that. Like, it's not what you think it is, basically, is what's coming through, because what you think it is, I feel like, is somehow being affected by your emotions. It's not what you think it is. Okay, Taurus. Oh, that was a lot. I feel better now, though, so... Okay, Taurus. There's also something here about, like, ripping off a Band-Aid. I feel like this is something maybe that you were avoiding or that was feeling kind of difficult for you for whatever reason. But it's kind of like what's coming through. The energy that's coming through is that when you do it, there's actually like sort of a relief that comes from it. Because I feel like, Taurus, for you, it's not as bad as you think it is. It's not as bad as you think it is. It's not what you think it is. It's not... there's something misunderstood about... Because it was coming through as being like your... what you think the situation is that your worst fear has come true, is how it's feeling like. Like, it is heavily coming through with the Ten of Swords. Like, feeling like your worst fears have come true. When it's not that, is how it's feeling to me. It's not that. I don't know what it is, but it's not that. There's something misunderstood about the fear, is how it's coming through, because I'm seeing this as like this, right? The frog energy, because the Ten of Swords is sort of that like 10 swords being like put in your back, right? Maybe you're seeing it as a betrayal of some sort, but what it actually is this like water, and how it's feeling to me, Taurus, with the frog, there's this feeling of like emotional vulnerability that perhaps there's this feeling of like your heart right now is incredibly open. And so, and so the rain feels like swords, is how it's coming through. The emotion feels like the worst sword kind of hurt, is how it's feeling. But it's not that. It's not that at all. It feels like love, but it feels like the hurt that comes from losing something that you love. Oh, Taurus. Yeah. Okay, so you have here the waterfall and earth, sky, wind, and sun, and fire, wildfire, moon. So, okay, there's something here about like where the energy is coming from, because I'm not actually feeling it from your heart, is how it's feeling. Like in terms of like the heartbreak, it doesn't, the pain energy, the hurt that you may be feeling is not actually coming from here, is how it's not a heartbreak energy. It's not a heartbreak. The energy is coming from up here. Feels like your crown. Like, interesting. So it feels kind of like, like something that's clearing out, like a pattern of belief that you have that is like was perhaps limiting your perception or your worldview or something like that. It's coming from up here. What's so interesting about the Six of Pentacles is that like there's like the bird is taking off the ticks, right, that are sort of on the bull. The ticks today are representing sort of like something that needs to be removed from you in terms of like it it's something perhaps so small that you're not seeing. We're going to get more cards on that. But it's like the bird needed to, because notice I'm not calling it little anymore. I feel like there's something here about the bird has grown. The bird has changed in some way. Because I feel like maybe whenever this cycle started for you, again, because it does kind of feel like a child or something like that, where, like, I'm not a parent, but I do have little sisters. Like, my youngest sister will always be sort of like a baby in my eyes, right? Like, because that's just how, like, that's just our dynamic. But she's grown, right? She's an adult. There's something about that kind of transition happening where it's like somebody maybe that you saw as a child or as a younger version of themselves has grown into something that maybe is surprising or unexpected to you. But I feel like so it could be something like letting go of that energy of the child version. This could even also be an aspect of yourself as well. It doesn't have to be with another person. It could be healing something internally within yourself. Anyways, I meant to go through this book and like write the numbers in myself, but I didn't. I just got sidetracked from this reading, the energy of this reading. Okay, so waterfall, earth. There is a time for solitude, just as there is a time to commune with others. Your tribe is calling you to join in their revelry. Now's the time for you to ground into the collective spirit that nourishes the individual spirit. Your soul is longing to be fed by the company of others and to sink deeply into the unfolding of love's true bounty. You see, there are many kinds of love. There is love of self and love of spirit, just as there is love of nature and love of beauty. But there's nothing quite like the love that is shared between friends and family. When we spend time with those we cherish, we amplify each other's beings in profound ways. It's not just about you. Your tribe is just as well served by your time with them as you are by theirs. There's an energy here of like love being returned to you, Taurus. That's how it's feeling to me, because I feel like from this bird specifically, but could also be happening in like a bigger group as well, because I feel like there's something about like you wanted to take care of this bird from a very loving energy. You were trying to give your love. It feels kind of like Taurus, like you were trying to provide comfort to this bird. You were trying to make them comfortable. You were trying to protect them. You were trying to give them everything that they need and more. And on some level, there may have been a feeling of like feeling like rejected by this bird because something about like what it was that you were offering or giving is something that they either rejected or were feeling restricted by, is how it's coming through. Not because they were rejecting your love, right? But that they were rejecting the fact that they couldn't give anything back to you, is how it's coming through. That's the feeling that's coming through. It's that they want to give back to you in a way that maybe is I feel like is not something that you're necessarily seeing the benefit of yet, is how it's coming through. Because your energy is so big, you can't see the little ticks, right? It's almost like things that don't even bother you. They're trying to like sort of remove those energies from you, because like ticks can have a lot of sort of negative influences. Something very small that can have really destructive influences. But I feel like you, perhaps, Taurus, were not seeing it as a big deal, is kind of how it's coming through. You weren't seeing it as a big deal. It's like they're mosquitoes to you. Doesn't matter. But this bird is saying, no, there's more to it that you're not seeing. And they're trying to help you with that. Trying to give back to you. Trying to reciprocate sort of the energy that you've been giving to them. But they can't do it from this restrictive, I don't want to use that word because that feels a bit, it's not accurate. It's not an accurate description of the dynamic. They cannot, because it kind of feels like they also want to protect you in a way, Taurus. They can't protect you from the comfort of your home, is how it's coming through. They can only do it when they're sort of out being a bird, right? They have to have sort of like this higher bird's eye perspective in order to protect you, is how it's coming through. So anyways, because the sky, wind, and sun is coming out, it's almost like this like emotional energy. It is kind of feeling like a waterfall from above. Is something that is like actually cleaning off all the ticks from you, is how it's coming through. It's healing in some way. I feel like the bird has something to do with it. The bird has something to do with this healing energy that's sort of washing over you, is how it's coming through. It's like a spiritual waterfall. Okay, Taurus. Okay, it's amazing how that energy just completely shifted. Okay, so sky, wind, and sun. Your essence is a service to the world. Your spirit overflows with joy and happiness, love, and wisdom. Do not hoard these energies for yourself. They are meant to be shared. Your essence enhances other people's lives by just being in their presence. There's nothing you have to do, and there's nothing you have to say. It is simply about sharing the energy that authentically radiates from your heart and from your spirit. Your energy is like a spark that activates inspiration and positivity in other people, and that is why you carry this medicine. Because the world needs this gift, this radiant mirror you hold within you that transmits the message, I see you, I hear you, my power is your power, look at how powerful you are. This is about reciprocity, Taurus. There's an energy here that wants to give back to you. But, like, because you have given so much to them, is how it's feeling. I'm not going to cry again. They're happy tears, Taurus. Okay, so there's this card. I feel like this part is a bit of a challenge here. So it says Wildfire Moon. Okay, when your temper is triggered and the flames of emotion erupt in a sea of fiery rage, you are not in the present moment. These emotional flames are being stoked by past experiences that you are holding onto and projecting onto your now. It is time to let go of the past. These old traumas are bringing you down and blinding you to the seasonal changes that have occurred. You do not have to allow these negative emotions to wreak havoc upon your life. You do not have to continue to burden yourself with their weight and their memories and their scars. Let go of the pieces of your past that are no longer serving you. Let go of these old wounds. Be present and create new emotions from the present. Emotions that serve you and uplift you and add positive vibrations to the collective. Yeah. Taurus, I feel like there's an energy attached to your energy in whatever way. The ticks, the mosquitoes. Something that I feel like you don't see as a big deal. It's not a big deal. It doesn't bother you that much. It's maybe just like a minor irritation. That's how it feels to you, is how it's coming through. but it's having like a really big effect on your emotions, is how it's feeling, like your emotional body. It feels like your emotional body. It's having a big effect on your emotional body. It could even be something about like, well, I feel like Taurians in general are slow to anger, right? Like slow to anger. That's why it feels like it's not a big deal for you, maybe. Like it's like it doesn't bother you. I feel like whoever this bird is feels like they're seeing it from a different perspective, that they know how much perhaps negative impact a little tick can do, right? So I feel like there's on some level this like spiritual waterfall, a really powerful wave of emotion that's coming over you in order to heal something, or to like put out whatever this fire is, right? A wildfire that is from the past, because this is feeling kind of like past hurts, past separation, past disappointments, past heartbreak, that even though I feel like you've let it go, you've moved on, you've moved past it, it's just like a minor irritation to you. On some level, there's still sort of that influence within your energetic body, is how it's feeling. And so this whatever's happening for you now could be very emotional, is trying to heal that and cleanse it and remove it. Oh, it's so interesting. Because I'm seeing these two figures here now that just caught my eye in this image. Like, I'm seeing this as like there's a separation. That's the energy of like, I feel like you've let someone go, is how it's feeling. It feels like a person or a relationship. You've let it go in whatever way. It's like, be free. Go and be free is how your energy's feeling. You're allowing someone to be free, like releasing them from expectations or whatever. But it's like the bird is actually just like landing on top of your head, is how it's feeling. Like not that they don't want to be free, they do, but they want to give back to you, is how it's feeling. They're like, okay, by the way, you have these ticks on your head. I don't know if you saw them, like that kind of thing. They're trying to like help you in the way that you have helped them. It's an energy of reciprocity for sure. But there's this thing here about like, this is uncomfortable, right? Because it's kind of like removing the ticks. Removing the ticks might actually be as painful as the bite itself. Your energy is magnificent, Taurus. It really is. It's magnificent. Oh, sky, lightning, moon. When life kicks you in the ass, or knocks you down, or throws a big old handful of dirt in your face, the most important thing you can do to support yourself through the experience is to feel it and to acknowledge your suffering. When we go through intense and painful experiences, as every human being does, That suffering opens up doorways in our consciousness that expand our perspectives and give us a deeper understanding of ourselves and of humanity. These experiences transform our understanding of the world and allow us to perceive from a higher level of intelligence. Our intuition grows stronger. We become aware of new concepts, new structures, and new patterns, all because we allowed these challenging moments to shape us and to transform us. Allow yourself to feel the pain you are enduring, to acknowledge that pain, and to follow it through the portals of expansion that are there to deliver you. Yeah. Taurus, I feel like there's it feels kind of like a bit of a tower moment, actually. Which is interesting. But it almost feels like a tower moment that you chose. Well, maybe not. Well, it's kind of like ripping off the Band-Aid, right? Like maybe you decided to rip off the Band-Aid. Maybe there were circumstances that sort of forced your hand, is how it's coming through. Taurus. That's a tough energy. Like that's the thing though. I feel like part of this energy, right? A feeling of being knocked on your ass, is like the waterfall was doing that, is how it's coming through. Like the waterfall knocked you on your ass. Like a huge like wave of emotional energy is how it's coming through. In order to heal something or to cleanse it, right? But it feels like Taurus, there was the reason why it might feel so difficult, right? Is because it's almost feeling like a 10 of swords. That's the thing. Maybe it is a 10 of swords. I'm not going to lie about that. It might feel like a 10 of swords. Well, it feels like a 10 of swords, but is it, is the question. I feel like it's not. It's not a 10 of swords, but it might feel like that because you were in this place of feeling so emotionally vulnerable that any sort of like pressure or incoming energy felt very harsh against like your openness, is how it's coming through. Like this open heart energy. Like it's like being like bombarded by emotional energy when you're this like delicate little frog, is how it's coming through, Taurus. Because it's like it's and in that sort of like wave is how it's feeling. Like all of this energy might have been sort of stirred up. Like it's kind of like I'm seeing some like this is an extreme way I'm going to phrase this right now, but it feels almost like exorcising a demon is how it's coming through. Like that's what's coming through here. And so like the demon fights back, right? The demon fights back when you are exorcising a demon because it wants to stay there. But I feel like this waterfall energy was so powerful that it removed whatever this is that was in your emotional body. It does feel like it was an emotional thing, and it's kind of like, I don't know, that's really intense. Well, that's the thing though, Taurus. I feel like maybe it sort of caught you off guard, is how it's feeling, because it was something that you were seeing as small, like a non-issue. It's not a big deal. I got bit by a mosquito. Who cares? Like that, it's that kind of energy. It didn't affect you. But I feel like on some level, it was perhaps becoming maybe a bigger problem than you anticipated. And so the universe stepped in, is how it's feeling, because you weren't seeing it as a big problem, when it perhaps was having bigger consequences than you could imagine, is how it's feeling. Oof. Fire, volcano, star. And then land, tree, sun. Oh, I love that card. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and then the sky storm. This one came out in the Virgo reading as well, I think it was. Okay, they say with this volcano card, they say that with great power comes great responsibility. One of those great responsibilities is humility. Humble leaders understand that the power they wield is meant to serve the people. Recognize yourself as a vessel for something greater. Take care that your thoughts, words, and actions are steeped in humility while always serving the best interests of the collective. The spirits are pointing you towards a pathway that will lead you to your magnificence. Walk this path with humility, making sure to never exalt yourself above others, but to walk alongside them, inspiring and igniting them with your passion, your integrity, and your litness. Yeah, Taurus. I feel like there was some sort of like big wave of energy that felt very humbling to you. And there is this feeling of like feeling knocked on your ass a little bit, not to say that you were holding yourself above, right? That's the thing though, with this energy here with the waterfall, there is a difference in sort of like the levels, right? And with the resin card, it's also coming through as being like, again, with the little bird, like maybe treating somebody as a child who is not a child anymore is how it's coming through, Taurus. Like, what it's coming through so well intentioned, right? Like, I'm not saying this as being like a judgment on you or you're doing this wrong or anything like that. It's feeling like if you are a parent and this is about your child, you want to protect your child. The warning with the resin card is that sometimes the act of protecting someone actually causes more and not harm, but it actually limits the person that you're trying to protect, right? So it's kind of coming through like that. There's something here about like, I feel like perhaps an energy of humility, because perhaps you're seeing how your efforts to try and protect someone were actually not helping them in a way. That might have been part of the feeling of being knocked on your ass, that kind of thing. But I feel like there's something, again, surprising about this. It's not about the bird. It's the bird has grown, whoever that is for you. And they're also trying to give back to you, Taurus. I feel like that's the thing, though. It's like, it's something about, like, maybe there's some aspect of your pride, for lack of a better word, that prevents you from accepting help from whoever this is, especially if it's your child. Like, because I feel like the child, the little bird, because it doesn't have to be a child. It could just be someone who's younger than you or something like that, has less experience or whatever. Something about the little bird that is going to surprise you is how it's coming through. It's going to surprise you, or it wants to surprise you, or it wants to give back to you. Okay, let's see what this one is. This is such a beautiful card. It's a surprise. There's something hidden within inside of this. Okay. Land, tree, and sun. You have exhausted yourself again. Your body and your spirit are asking for replenishment. A nap isn't going to cut it this time. The trees are calling you to them, inviting you to lean your weary back against their sturdy trunks and to allow their wisdom and their healing energy into your being. The busyness of this world has distorted your perspective. You're being called to the trees so that you can peer through their branches and their fluttering leaves, to gaze upon the golden sunlight shining through. Allow yourself to rest among the trees, allowing the sunlight to warm your face and to remind you of your own divinity. The simplicity of this meaning will revive your spirit and inspire your own branches to reach for the sun once again. Taurus. It's something about like this bird is trying to give back to you in a way where you can find true rest is how it's coming through. I feel like I'm just getting this energy for you, Taurus, of like you've been working so hard. You've been working so hard, and perhaps in order to like provide for someone or to like take care of someone or to protect someone, like it's this energy here of like surrounding, right? Like it's so interesting with this resin card, because it's like that's what's inside, but I'm feeling like, because I always, not always, but sometimes I see this little flower in here as a wound that's healed. It's like whatever it is that you're experiencing now is in order to give you deep rest and healing of the throat chakra, perhaps, but it doesn't have to be. It could be any form of expression of love. It feels like it kind of feels like you have been giving a lot, Taurus. It's time for you to receive now. It is time for you to receive from this little bird that's no longer little. And it's like there may have been this energy of like the universe telling you to sit down, Taurus, to take a rest, to allow others to give back to you. Because it's time for that now. You've given enough. You have given enough. You don't need to give any more, is how it's coming through. Okay, Taurus, I'm going to leave it there. Look at this image together is just perfect. Like, okay, I'm going to leave it there. If this resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, Taurus, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.